Hello everyone, welcome to Subbu's Tech YouTube channel. This series of videos are about Selenium scripting, that means web applications automation using Selenium WebDriver and Java. For this one, you need to know basic Java. That means you don't need to know the full Java like JSP, networking or threads and all those things, but you need to know at least the basic Java to start with scripting in Selenium. So I have developed different playlists in my YouTube channel, and if you want to learn the basics of Java before starting with this particular series of videos, then you can go to my other playlist in my videos in my YouTube channel, and which is Java Basics for Selenium, and you can view all those videos to learn about Java basics. And one more thing is, if you go to the videos section in my YouTube channel, you may not be able to find the videos in the right order, because sometimes I post the videos on Selenium, sometimes I post the videos on Java basics, sometimes I post the videos on the Selenium project, which I'm going to show you later. So in the videos section, the videos may not be in the right order. So I suggest you to go to my playlist section, where you can find all the videos in different playlists, and in those playlists the videos are in right order. So let me show you that one. This is my channel, and once you come to this channel, you will see video section here. So in the video section you will find all the videos here, but the videos may not be in the right order. So go to the playlist section here. In the playlist section, currently we have two playlists here. One is Selenium tutorials for beginners, and second one is Java basics for Selenium. So if you click on this Java basics for Selenium, then you can see all these videos in the right order. That means I have developed different tutorials for Java basics, and you can find all these tutorials in the right order. And similarly, for Selenium tutorials for beginners, you can find all the tutorials in the right order. Currently it is only one tutorial that is posted under this one, Selenium tutorials for beginners, but all the new tutorials will be added under this one. So you will find all these tutorials in the right order in this playlist. So go to this playlist section, and you can find all the tutorials in the right order. And one more thing you have to see is, I have developed some HTML files actually, particularly for practicing with Selenium scripts. So those HTML files, you can download them from my GitHub repository. So let me show them to you. So this is my GitHub repository. In the GitHub repository, all the Java basics tutorials, you can download them from here, which is Selenium-Java-tutorials. So these are all the different documentation that is available here, and the Selenium tutorials that I am going to show you, these you can download from here. So this is the repository for this one. So you can download all the tutorials, the Word documents here, and the files that are needed for your practice. I have particularly developed some files so that you don't need to go any external sites. Most of the examples that I am going to show in these tutorials, you can practice them using these files. Those files you can download them from Selenium-downloads. So if you see Selenium-downloads repository in the GitHub, then you can see index folder, page object model folder, and example HTML file, and JS JavaScript examples file here. So the index folder contains different folders and different files again. So I will show you all those things. And also page object model also contains different folders and different files, and the example HTML file and the JavaScript examples file. So download this whole thing: index, page object model, example HTML, and JS examples, etc. Download all these folders, okay? Because we'll be using these same files for our practice. Because I have particularly developed these HTML files, and everything, most 95% of the examples that I'm going to show in these tutorials, you can practice them using this HTML file. So download all these things. So let me show what these files are first. Okay, so these are all the different folders and files that you can download from the GitHub repository. So index, page object model, example HTML, JS example. If you go to index, then you will see an index.html file. This is an HTML file. So just click on this one, and you will see a page like this. So this page contains all the elements, all the HTML files and everything which you can use, where like most of the tutorials to show you, that means 95% of the tutorials that I'm going to show you, you can practice them using this file. So this is an index file. What you can do is you can directly like copy this URL and you can use it in your scripts, Selenium scripts. So download this one. For example, if you want to practice how to automate the text box, and if you want to enter some value into a text box, and you can use this one, text box with attribute, text box with spaces in IDs, names, attributes. So these are all the different things here. And drop down list, you can practice it here, and check boxes, you can practice it here, and radio buttons, you can practice it here, and multiple selections, you can practice it, and also drag and drop operations. So drag and drop operations, you can practice it here. So like this, there are like many things here. You can also practice uploading files. You can choose a file here and you can upload the file, and this is the CSS type uploading. So you can practice all these things using this one HTML page. So download the index folder. Okay, and now let us see the other things. Okay, this page object model folder. So this page object model folder HTML files are developed mainly for practicing the page object repository model. This is a design pattern that we have in Selenium. So using this, we can group, we can have an object repository for all the objects in our application that we are going to automate. So this page object model is a design pattern. So this one you can practice it using this 4 HTML files, which is page object page 1, that means PO page 1, PO page 2, PO page 3, and PO page 4. So if you can open any of this one, and it will show you 4 different pages here. See, page 1, page 2, page 3, and page 4. So using this one, I will show you how to do page object repository model, how to create that one and how to use it in your projects. So download this one also. And the next one is example HTML. So this example HTML is nothing but like you need to know the basics of HTML, because we are going to automate the web applications. Web applications are nothing but they are the HTML files. Those HTML files contain all these HTML elements like text boxes, text areas, and checkboxes, radio buttons, links, and all those things. So I showed you like in one tutorial. So I'm going to show you how a HTML page is developed, how it is normally developed. So I have showed you and I have given you this example there, so you can download this as well. And next one is JS examples. So in Selenium we have a concept called JavaScript executor. So you can execute the JavaScript commands using Selenium. So there is a separate class for that one. Using that class you can execute the JavaScript commands directly in Selenium. But for that you need to know what is JavaScript, at least the basics. You don't need to know the whole JavaScript in this one, but at least you need to know the basic JavaScript for this one. So in one of the tutorials I have shown you like what JavaScript is and how we use it in a HTML pages and all those things. So this is an example for that one. So you can download all these things, all these folders, and almost like 98% of the Selenium tutorials that I'm going to show you in this series of videos, you can practice with all these 4 pages. Okay, sorry guys, like my house is very close to the main road, so you might hear like some vehicle sounds in the middle. So sorry about that, but I can't help with that actually. I'm trying to remove all those vehicle sounds, but sometimes you still might hear like small vehicle sounds. So sorry about that. Okay. So now let us see the contents of the Selenium tutorials that we are going to talk about. So these are all the different contents. So the first one we will see about introduction and how to install and configure Selenium. So in this tutorial we will see how to install and configure Selenium, because when you write a script in Java, Eclipse might identify that it's a Java program, but it has to identify that it's a Selenium program. For that, we need to download some jar files and configure them with Eclipse. So in this video, I will show you how to download and how to configure them in Eclipse, those jar files, Selenium jar files. And then we'll create our first script and run it on Chrome browser and Firefox browser. and Edge browser, and I will show you some interview questions as well, because when you go for an interview, you need to know what kind of interview questions are generally asked. So after each and every couple of chapters, I'm going to present some interview questions as well on Selenium scripting, actual scripting. So this is about the interview questions. Okay, once that is done, then we will see some basic WebDriver methods and WebDriver navigate methods, and closing the background driver.exe files at once. Okay, so normally when we are practicing, we will use some driver files actually to interact with each and every browser. For example, for Chrome browser, we have Chrome driver.exe, and for Firefox driver, we have Gecko driver.exe. Like that, for each and every browser, we have some driver files. So we use them in our scripts before starting writing any program or running our program. But normally during our practice, what we do is we don't really close those files actually. So in the background, what happens is a lot of driver.exe files keep on running, which will make your system or your script slow down. So during our practice, we have to manually close them. Either we can go to the task manager directly and we can close each and every one of them driver.exe, or we can use an command prompt. We can use a Windows command in command prompt to kill all those instances. So we'll see that how to kill all those driver.exe files that are running in the background with just one command. So we will see that in this one. And the next one is okay, basic HTML concepts. Since Selenium WebDriver with Java is used to automate the web applications, we need to know some basic HTML concepts. So we will discuss that one in this one. And then WebDriver locator techniques. So basically automation is nothing but you need to locate all the elements on a web page, like how to locate a text box. For example, you may want to enter something into a text box, like a name or something. So you need to identify that element and you need to enter something into the text box. So we will see all those things like the locator techniques. We will see that one, and we'll see different examples, and we will see how to locate the elements using XPath, CSS selectors, tag name, and contains keyword. And then finally we will see some interview questions on the locator techniques, because normally once you go into an interview, then people will ask you some questions on these locator techniques. Like, let's say I have a list of elements and I would like to get the text from that list of elements. So how do you get that one? So all those kind of questions you will be asked. So if you know how to locate the elements using these different techniques, so we have different techniques. We can identify an element by ID, we can identify an element by name, tag name, and XPath, CSS selectors, so all these things. So we'll see all those different techniques in this one. If you know all these things perfectly, then you can answer such kind of questions. Okay, so once that is done, then we will see like WebDriver find element methods, and then we'll see what is find elements method, and also the difference between find element and find elements method. So once that is done, then we will see about how to work with the text areas, checkboxes, and then okay, I will correct this one. So this is to find the number of checkboxes and values, and then to find the number of checkboxes and values in a group by limiting the WebDriver scope. And then we will look at how to work with the radio buttons, and we will see different examples on the radio buttons. Once that is done, then we will see about the drop down lists, and once the dynamic drop downs, we'll see single static drop down list, and also dynamic drop down list, and also multiple select drop down list. So all those things we will see, and then finally we will see some interview questions on this drop down list and all these things. Okay, so once that is done, then we will see about the JavaScript alerts. So how to handle the different JavaScript alerts, we will see that one, and we will see how to check if an element is visible on a page or not, and then using keyboard keys. So if you want to use the keyboard keys, for example, in your script, if you want to click the down arrow or up arrow, or you want to click on the enter button, so all those things we will see it here. And we'll see some interview questions as well on the JavaScript alerts, weights, and keyboard keys. Once that is done, then we'll look at handling mouse and keyboard events. And okay, so we look at actions class. So this actions class is used mainly for handling mouse events and also keyboard events. That means if you want to move your mouse cursor to a different place, then you need to use this actions class. Similarly, you want to use like the keyboard keys, then you can use this actions class. So and if you want to work with dynamic drop downs and all those things, we can use, and also drag and drop operations. For example, you want to drag an element from one place and drop it somewhere else, then you can use this actions class. So we'll see like what this actions class is, and we'll see like how to handle child windows and frames, and also how to upload images. So these are all the things that we'll see. And then we'll see about cookies, how to manage cookies. So if you want to for example, if you are working on an automation project, and where that particular application uses different cookies, so the next time when you want to run your scripts, sometimes you may have to delete like all the cookies that are set up by the application. So how to handle the cookies using Selenium, we will see in these chapters. And once that is done, then we'll see about like how to disable push notifications in Chrome and Firefox. Push notifications means sometimes you will get notifications in Firefox and Chrome when you open a browser, like okay, this particular site wants to send you some notifications, do you want to agree, something like that. So if you want to disable that one, how to do them. So we will see them like how to disable the push notifications in Chrome and how to disable them in Firefox. And once that is done, then we'll see how to accept insecure certificates, because sometimes you'll see notifications like insecure certificate notifications. So we'll see how to handle them, and how to hide the automation toolbar warning in Chrome. Normally when you use Selenium with Chrome browser, then you will see some automation notification saying that like, okay, the Chrome browser is being managed by some automation software or something like that. So if you want to disable that, like how to do that one. So we'll see that one in this one. And then we'll see some interview questions on the actions class, child class, frames, uploading images, cookies, Chrome options, and Firefox options. So once that is done, then we will see synchronization. So the synchronization is nothing but implicit wait and explicit wait. These two things we will see. That means normally like sometimes when you open the application may have to load the information from different places, from different servers, and some servers might slow, some servers might be fast. So really for the applications, for the page to open, it may take some time. So in those cases we use implicit waits. So that is nothing but the synchronization. So we use implicit wait, and in some cases when you do some particular operations, it may have to go and fetch the data from the server, and the whole page may not be refreshed, but only a particular area of the page will be refreshed. So we have to wait until that area is refreshed. So in those cases we will use some explicit waits. So we will see how to use implicit wait and explicit wait. And in the next chapter we will see about JavaScript executor, how to execute JavaScript commands in Selenium. So we will see that one. So for that one we will see the JavaScript basics. And once this JavaScript executor is completed, then we will see some interview questions on that. And then we'll see about tables. So how to read the values from tables. We'll see this one. So tables is also kind of like it's also an important one, because a lot of web applications, a lot of web pages contain different tables, and you need to know how to read the data from the tables. Because one of the interview questions that was asked on these tables is, let's say I have a table where in the first column I have check boxes, in the second column I have a usernames, and in the third column I have drop down list where I have to select the country. So I have to write a function based on the username. I have to select the checkbox and also the country that I am passing to the function. So that's how to do that one. How do you write that function? So you need to know how to read the table first before doing that one. So in this tutorials we will see how to read the tables and how to read the tables on different pages and all those things. Once that is done, then we will look at a TestNG framework. So TestNG framework is a framework in Selenium that is developed by the inspiration of JUnit and NUnit, mainly JUnit actually. So using TestNG, we can run different scripts. I mean, like let's say you have 100 scripts, and if you want to run the scripts, 100 scripts, you have to run it one by one. But using TestNG, you can run all the scripts one by one. You don't need to manually, like, start and execute the scripts one by one. TestNG will take care of that one, and it also produces some very good reports, and we can do like a lot of things using TestNG. So once the TestNG is done, then we will look at Maven. So Maven is a project management tool. Some people say that it's a build management tool, where using Maven, like, you can do a lot of things. You can deploy, you can generate jar files or war files, and you can deploy them to servers, or you can, for our purpose, you can start the Selenium scripts using Maven commands. Okay, so there is a life cycle for that one. So we will discuss about Maven life cycle in this one, and we will see, like, all those things, like how to start our scripts, our Selenium scripts using Maven. Because some of the questions, like, interviewers, they ask you questions on this Maven, because some of the questions that were asked in this Maven are, can you explain like Maven life cycle? That's one question. And another question is, how do you download the resources that are required for running this Maven? Like, we have a pom.xml in this Maven. In the pom.xml, we generally have dependencies and plugins section. So how do you use them, or, like, how do you download the resources required for running this Maven? So those kind of questions, we will discuss them in this one. Okay, once that is done, then we will look at Jenkins. So Jenkins is an important one, because using Jenkins, you can really schedule your scripts. For example, if you want your scripts to be run at morning 4 o'clock, so you can schedule that one. And if you want your scripts to be run whenever the deployment is completed, let's say you are working in an onshore offshore model, and you are at offshore, and onshore is somewhere in US, and the US people, they work, like, in night times in India time. Okay, so, and their deployments will be completed somewhere, like, 4 a.m. in our time, and we want to they want us to run the scripts at 4 a.m. whenever the deployment is completed. So using Jenkins, you can do that one. I mean, you don't need to be at the system. You can set up, like, to run the scripts whenever the deployment is completed. Using Jenkins, you can do all those things. So Jenkins is also a very important one. And once that is completed, then we will look at database testing, how to do database testing using the Selenium. It's not Selenium actually. We will mainly use Java only to do the database scripting. Sorry, database testing. We'll use Java only. So we have already discussed how to connect to a database and execute queries in the other playlist, which is Java basics for Selenium. But we will see how to do that one exactly, the database testing using Selenium in these chapters. And once that is done, then we will see about page object model. So page object model and page factory also, because some of the questions that were asked in interviews are like, what is page object model, and how do you do it, and what is page factory? So those kind of questions are asked by interviewers. So we'll discuss all those things in this one. And the next one is log4j. Log4j is a logging mechanism. Suppose you want to log all the activities that you are doing in your Selenium scripts, then you can do it using log4j2. So we will see all those things in this one. And once that is done, then we will look at Selenium Grid. Okay, so Selenium Grid is also an important one, because let's say you have 1,000 scripts, and if you want to run them, those 1,000 scripts might take, like, let's say 20 hours, and you may not have that time to execute all those 1,000 scripts for 20 hours. What you can do is, you can distribute them and you can run them on different systems. Let's say you have 5 systems available. Okay, so on those 5 systems, using Selenium Grid, you can distribute like 200 test cases for one system, 200 test cases for another system, so that the 20 hours that is taken for 1,000 test cases those 1,000 test cases will be completed or might be completed in 5 hours only or 4 hours only. So Selenium Grid is the one which enables us to do the parallel execution. That means you can run your scripts on different systems parallelly. So we will see that one how to do it. We'll for practice what we will do is I have installed some virtual machines on my system. So I will show you how to do it on those virtual machines. So I have installed some virtual machines and I have installed two Windows operating systems on the virtual machine, and I'll show you how to run the scripts parallelly on those two Windows machines. Okay, so Selenium Grid is also an important one. So we will see that one as well, and then we will see how to read and write data to Excel. Okay, so this Excel reading and Excel writing, this is mainly used in data driven framework. That means most of the data that we use, we normally keep them in Excel files, and we use Selenium to read the data from the Excel and use it in our applications, and any results or anything generated, we can write them back to the Excel. So we'll see how to do that. We use Apache POI API for this one. So I will show you what is this Apache POI API, and I will show you how to use this one. And once that is done, then we will go with the frameworks. The main frameworks that we are going to that I'm going to show you are Selenium modular framework and data driven framework and keyword driven framework. So these are the three frameworks that we are going to see in this one. These are like only small examples, but once this is done, then I'm going to post some tutorials on an actual project. That means this will show you like some small examples, like how to do a keyword driven framework for a login functionality or something like that. But when you go to a real project, that's when you will see the real problems. That means because you have to work on an end-to-end application, not on a single functionality like a login functionality or posting something, or not something like that. You have to work on an end-to-end application. That's where you have to develop a really robust framework. That's when you will really see the real problems. So what I will do is I'm going to I have already created a project on this one using some application. It's a PHP application, web application. So using that, I have done a project, an end-to-end automation using hybrid framework. Hybrid framework is nothing but it's a framework. It's a mixture of different frameworks. So I have used keyword-driven framework in that. I have used modular framework in that. I have used data-driven framework in that. So I have used all these different frameworks, and I'm going to show you that one, but that will be a different playlist. So, but in this playlist, what you can see is in this video, in this series of videos, what you can see is you can learn about Selenium scripting, Selenium WebDriver using Java. You can start automating the applications using Selenium WebDriver with Java. So these are all the different topics that I'm going to cover. So I would like to just tell you like one more time that just go to my repository here, which is Selenium, which is github.com/subboostech, and then go to Selenium-downloads and download all these things, because this is what we are going to use. This is what we are going to use in our tutorials. Mostly 98% of the tutorials that we are going to see, we use only these things, only these HTML pages only, and we will see how to automate different things using Selenium. And the other thing is if you want to find these tutorials in an order, go to my playlist area. So this is the playlist area. In this playlist area, you will see different playlists here. So for this example, for this one is a Java basics for Selenium, and this one is Selenium tutorials for beginners. Okay, so go to this playlist instead of going to this videos section. Then you can find all these videos in an order. Okay, so finally, if you like these videos, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also like, share, and comment. If you have any questions on these tutorials, you can comment on you can send me your questions in the comments section, and I'll definitely try to answer them. Thank you very much.